Hi everyone, welcome to another maths lesson. Today we're going to learn how to solve simultaneous equations. Our learning objectives are introducing simultaneous equation. I will introduce simultaneous equation to you by showing you graphs of two lines and getting some information from there. After that, you're going to learn how to solve a simultaneous equation by using an algebraic method called elimination method. So let us start. Fine, I got here two lines. The first one is 3x plus 2y equals 8, the blue line. And the other one is 2x minus 2y equals 2, the red line. If you see the two lines, they cross at this point. They got this point in common. When you're solving algebraic equations, all what you are trying to find is the coordinates of this point. In our case, the coordinates of this point is x is 2 and y is 1. So to solve simultaneous equations graphically, you need to plot the two lines or two graphs, and when you plot them, if they got one point in common, that point is the solution of the simultaneous equations. You go into red and note down the coordinates of this point. That's how you solve quadratic equation graphically. Let us see how we can solve it algebraically. I got here the two equations again. Okay, I got here the two equations. If you still remember from the graph, we find that the solution is x coordinates of 2 and y coordinates of 1. That's what we find from the graph. Let us see if we can find exactly the same point when we solve algebraically. And as we say in the learning objectives, the method that we are going to use is called elimination method. What does it mean is this: you are trying to eliminate either the x variable or y variable. In our case, because the x variable are different and the y, they got roughly the same coefficient 2 and 2, we can easily eliminate the y variable. Okay, plus and minus, so I need to add the two equations together. That's the only way I can eliminate the y. If I don't add and take away, this become positive, so 2 plus 2 will become 4. The y will stay. So if we add now 3x plus 2x, that gives you 5x. What is plus 2y plus minus 2y? Well, if you know what direct numbers and negative numbers and how to add them, you will find that this is 0. And that's all what we wanted. We eliminate the y method. That's where elimination method comes from. 8 are 2, that's 10. Now if you solve it out for x, x equals 10 divided by 5, because 5 times x and the inverse of time is division. And finally, you get the x coordinates of 2. Do you see? 2, 2. So we succeed to get the same x coordinate in the two ways that we solve, algebraically and graphically. Let us see why now. Let's use the first equation, which says 3x plus 2y equals 8. Now let's substitute x with the 2, because we found that x is 2. So if we substitute, that is what we're going to get. If we solve it out, that gives us 6 plus 2y equals 8. Okay, that's what it gives you. 6 plus 2y equals 8. Solve it for y. So 2y. Solve it for y. That gives you 2y equals 8. Take away 6. And that gives you 2y is 2. And finally y is 2 divided by 2. And the answer is y is 1. Do you see? We find y is 1 as well. So our point now is x is 2 and y is 1. Exactly what we find when we solve it graphically. Let us try another one now. Okay? Let's try another one. Let us try this one. Let us first do graphically, and then we come to solve it algebraically. Okay? And we come and solve it algebraically. Now graphically, I got both of them here. The two equations are 4x plus 2y equals 4, x plus 2y equals 1, and we plot both of them, the red line and the blue line, and this is the point that they got in common. This is the solution of the simultaneous equation. What is the coordinates of this point? X is 1 and y is 0. 1 and 0. That's what we got. 1 and 0. Elimination method. Again, y is a good candidate to eliminate because you got 2y and 2y, but this time they got the same sign, and the only way you can get 0 from it is to take away from each other. 4x take away x, that gives you 3x. And 2y take away 2y is eliminated, that's 0. 4 take away 1, that's 3. Solve it for x. X equals 3 divided by 3. And finally, x equals 1. You see, we find the 1 back. Now let's try to find y, because I used the first equation for, and when I was doing the first example, I'm going to use the second equation and show you that doesn't matter which equation you use. So we're going to use x plus 2y equals 1. What's the x? X is 1. So we go 1 plus 2y is 1. Solve for y. 2y is 1 minus y. That gives you 2y is 0 and y is 0. That's what we got graphically. So what's the solution? It's 1 and 0. So that's how you solve simultaneous equations, either graphically or algebraically. I hope that you understand it. Okay? Here I got 2 questions for you to try. All what you need to do is solve those 2 equations algebraically by using elimination method. You can stop the video now and try. I think you have tried, so let's do it together. First one first. Example A. This is what we got. Y has got the same coefficient but different sign, so we need to add the 2 equations together. If you add 2x and minus x, you got only 1x. And if you add minus 1 and y, you got 0. And if you add 1 and 1, you got 2. So we find x equals 2. Let us find our y now. Let's use the first equation, which says 2x minus y equals 1. X is 2, so let's substitute x with 2. That's what we got. Very interesting. Here I go 4 minus y equals 1. I go minus y equals 1 minus 4, and that gives me minus y equals minus 3. If minus y equals minus 3, that simply means y equals 3. And times minus 1 both sides. What's the solution now? X is 2 and y is 3. I hope that you got those points when you solve it. Let's do the same here, okay? Let me underline. Y's here again. Y's are, they got the same sign, okay? Because y's, they got the same sign. Let us take away the 2 equations from each other. 2x take away x, that's 1x. Y take away y, that's nothing. 1 take away 2 is minus 1. So we find our x. How do we find our y? Let's do now the second equation, which says x plus y equals 2. If x is minus 1 plus y equals 2, solve for y. Y equals 2 plus 1. We take to the other side, it becomes plus. Y equals 3. So what's the point? The point is minus 3 and minus 1 for x and 3 for y. This is how you solve it. When you're solving graphically, you need to plot the 2 graphs and find the coordinates of the common point. When you're solving algebraically, this case you need to use elimination method, which simply means you need to eliminate either the x variable or y variable. In all 4 examples, we eliminate y variable, but exactly we can do the same thing to eliminate for x, as we see another lesson which is coming. This is the end of this lesson. There's a worksheet that goes with it. Make sure that you use that worksheet, and make sure when you complete the worksheet that you use the answer sheet to mark your work. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in another lesson.